I might lose you here as I change. All right, and we are live. Brian, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you, so I think we're all set. The stream has about a 25-second delay to ensure no one's listening in, talking about the moves we think they're going to use and stuff. No bonus strategy for watching the stream, so they'll be on a slight delay. But it looks like we're just about to get started with our first match, which is going to be...
I think Junior and Max, right?
Junior and Max.
So welcome all of you guys. Hopefully you guys are excited for this next edition of our global game nights. I think this one's been rebranded. The last one at this level was the Elite Game Night, but this is now the Hero Game Nights. So we've got basically the top players in the world ready to compete and sort of vie for the title. So I hope everyone is super excited to see some of the matches. I think we've got a couple of good matches in store. Had a tough road to the finals from what I could tell. I was looking at the brackets and there were some tough matches. I think our previous champion got knocked out by his rival in the quarters, I think it was. So we had Junior and Tamir duke it out early. So it looks like we will have a new champion this time around, which is always exciting. Or maybe potentially another repeat champion.
Sorry to leave you hanging there, Brian. I'm working on the back end to get everyone in.
Did we confirm that the audio is good? I haven't looked at the chats.
Yes, I believe the audio is good. Audio sounds good. Is this the real Toa? It is. This is the man behind the fish head. So everything looks good, both from stream-wise and from chat-wise. So I think we're good to go. I'm just getting the contestants into a Google Meets so we can spectate.
Cool. So let's we can give a quick rundown while we're waiting. So their first match, like we said, was Junior and Max.
So I will actually enlarge Junior's teams first. You want to do a quick rundown of this team? I'm just gonna cover us real quick.
Yeah, I think Junior's team is going to be a little bit of a surprise from those of you who've played and watched some of our streams previously. We no longer have the crowd favorite Golduck on the team, but I think in general the comp is definitely much more solid without the water. So he's added a grass, it looks like, to his main team, which is pretty tanky. And pretty strong in the attack areas, so he's got pretty heavy physical attack. I'd say probably the main weakness is just the overlapping air element, but other than that, it's got pretty good coverage over the elements. I think if I were to play a team, if I wasn't playing Electro, I'd grass for my team, and I'd play a very similar comp. And then we've got Max, who I think was in the finals previously as well, if I remember correctly. Sporting, I think, the same team as before. He plays a couple of solid blast cannons, as I like to call them, super high fire elementals on his on Smog, and then he's got super high attack on his grass. I think I had seen some stuff on stream that he's the only one that's rocking platinum chests in the armor department, so he's got his work cut out for him for sure. And I think overall his team comp's pretty solid. I think he's a little bit of an underdog, but I think most people really like Max for the stuff that he's done for the community. So I think he's got quite a number of fans cheering him on.
Yeah, Max actually, he made that Cryptomon search bot, didn't he?
Which
is one I still use to this day. Great bot, super efficient, really quick.
Yeah, he does a lot of also the community art and profile images and stickers and stuff. So
yep. So he's definitely...
You won't find people saying bad things about Max.
Definitely earned his spot in the community and is well loved. All right, so it looks like we are getting everyone, all of the contestants, into the call. That way we can stream their match live here. I think it looks like we are waiting on Max, and then we will be good to go.
You said there's a delay?
Yes, there's about a 30-second delay, but they'll hear us talking about the delay.
All right, let me see. I wonder if I should have a Google Meet instead, so I can see the match in real time, right?
Yes. Yeah. So you should have access to that Google Meet as well.
Cool.
You're in that chat.
Give me 1 second before we get started.
No problem. All right. It looks like we just got Max in here.
Let me ask. Cool, now I can see. There we go.
All right, and I am going to switch us over to our battle screen. We'll see how well this goes here. Bam. And we're just gonna see how this goes.
Yeah, so it looks like we're just getting those contestants queued up.
Ooh. Can everyone make sure they're muted in the Google call? That way we don't have double audio. And I will see if I can mute that on my end. I'm actually not sure if that's even going through on the stream.
Yeah, I muted myself, so we're good.
All right.
Oh,
and
I can see the...
Just let us know on the stream, guys, if you're hearing any doubles. There shouldn't be, but this is my first time we're streaming through Google Meet, so we have the contestants in here. We're seeing their screen. So just obviously let me know anything in the chat. If there's something I can improve, and I'll see if I can fix it real time while we're getting these matches started.
Yeah, and feel free also, if anyone has any questions or anything, we're going to have a brief intermission midway through the semis and the finals. If you guys have any questions you want us to tackle, we've got a few things to share, but always happy to answer some questions on stream.
Mm-hmm. No double sounds perfect.
Cool.
Yeah. I'm glad I have good English. That's my first and only language. So I'm glad I'm fluent and you guys can understand it. Otherwise, we would have problems. So thankfully, Google Translate and all of our systems, AI's gotten so good it can translate almost anything for me instantly. So I'm able to talk to everyone in the community despite being one language Andy.
Yeah, I think sometimes they think some of us are bots because we just use all the translation tools. And I think I was helping someone in Russian or something the other day, and they were surprised that I was responding. I'm like, that's just the internet for you.
I had a ticket in Arabic, or I guess I don't know if that's the language or what you would actually call it, but it was where it was going left to right as well, or right to left, and I was like, holy moly, thank goodness for auto translate, because this is well beyond my capabilities.
Yeah, but I think it's a good, it's kind of cool to see. We've got people, I know that you guys are probably noticing my scarf. I'm trying to support the winning side, so I've pretty much guaranteed myself a spot there. So we've got an all Brazilian contingent this match, this finals. And so I think it's pretty cool, though, that we've got, I think we had like at least 7, 8, maybe 10 different communities involved. We got players from around the world, and it's kind of cool to see everyone coming together to play some matches online. I think we had some Canadians in the quarters and some of the knockout rounds that made it through. But I think it was like 7 or 8 countries in the brackets, if I remember correctly. So we've got a good sort of mix of people, but obviously the Brazilians appear to be the team to beat. So, and I think a bunch of these guys are also in the same guild, so it'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
A little bit of infighting there.
I know that Max and Junior are kind of, Moto and Junior are probably like rivals from way back, even from the early first tournament that that KMON held. So it's always good to sort of see some of these matches, and I think that's some of the fun of this, is seeing people play and expand and change their teams and see how they sort of address the issue.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be super interesting too to see when we launch the new spells what that's going to do to team comps. We'll have to kind of see how that goes.
New spells and that synergy. I know I showed it off in one of my streams a little bit ago, and those synergies are kind of deadly. Not only hitting Cryptomon that are hiding on the bench, you can no longer have that less than 20 HP Cryptomon that just managed to stay alive and save it for a turn in the end game. They're just going to hit you with one of those spread spells, and it's going to change it up. And the team comp elements are going to change a lot too now that you have buffs or debuffs on buffs and debuffs with that. So it's going to be very important to make sure that your team is working well.
Yeah, I think that's the cool part about the complexity is like we're going to start changing strategies and sort of seeing how the game evolves as we go. We got some good new utility spells coming out of Ghost and Water too. So it'll be pretty interesting because I think a lot of people like go and they'll take some damage and then hide on the bench and save it for a rainy day, and that may or may not be a strat that you can really survive with anymore.
Oh, that has been my main strategy, especially in those story mode. I have my fire type Hydra to spread damage and then it gets off the field because it is not tanky enough. But I won't be able to hide anymore on the bench if they catch me with my turn on the field and on the bench. I'm a little worried. I need to find a grass to slot in to get some of those new heal benefits too. Yeah,
a couple of those objectives for finishing with your Cryptomon less than whatever percentage are going to get a little dicey in story challenge. Now you're going to have to work up some new strats on being able to either take a grass and be able to heal off the bench, or even starting a little bit lower and only taking the damage at the end.
Maybe sneak in a silence there.
Yeah,
something.
The last little bit
after alive on that last turn. So it looks like Max, I don't know if you're in the stream. It looks like Junior is ready, and you can send him a request, and we can get the first game started. And then let me know. You guys are in the group with me. If you run into any issues, let me know, so we can try and solve that.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye on the chat too. I think most of our players are on the YouTube stream. All right. I think we're just getting set, right? I think we're good to go. Oh, I think I lost audio on you, Toa.
On me? Oh, sorry. I'm just sitting here in silence.
No worries.
There are times where I start reading something and every other sense turns off for me. I'm just lost right now. Multitasking is not my strong suit.
All right.
But I have a 3-monitor setup, so my eyes are just darting. I have our call up, our Streamlabs up, and the stream itself up. But it looks like we're ready for match 1.
Yep.
So Max, we are watching your stream. So it looks like I don't know who's taking initiative to send the challenge, but I think we are good to go.
Looks like the queue started up. Got the matches getting ready to get started already.
All right, and then you did some scouting, so I can use that as
we'll have to see. We'll have to see sort of what they go with. I suspect both of them will play their main team. Their alternates didn't look like they would really slot in very well on either side. So I think it's just there as a little bit of a decoy for people. Mm-hmm. Although both I think Junior had an ice on the bench, so it'll be super interesting to see if that ends up working out or not.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like the players have decided for a best of 1, so that alternative won't really be as big of a wild card as it would be in a best of 3. When you bring your team, there's no really chance to swap in that counter play or a surprise in the next match. So it looks like we may have had a disconnect here. And we were just doing some tests right before the stream, and we had good connects here. But we'll have the players relog and resend their request real quick and get into the battle. So, and then players, just make sure you're on the latest version of the app. Most of you are more hardcore than me, so I trust that you're on the updated version. But just that's just support Toa coming out, just by default. Clear your cache, refresh your page, make sure you're on Chrome, all that stuff. Just has become a default response for me. And I'm going to close out as he does that because I don't want to dox any of his information. So Max, you're good to go. You're no longer on stream, so you're safe to do whatever you need to do. There's a 30-second delay, so he might not even hear me, but I'll let him know in chat. Oh, okay, he left the meeting, so I'm sure he'll just rejoin when he's comfortable sharing again. Understandable though. I one time accidentally I was copying and pasting something in chat, and I accidentally had my password still on my clipboard, and just snap reaction, I pasted it, hit send because I was expecting it to send a screenshot or something, and boom, my password went out in the global group with 50,000 people. I was like, well, that is unfortunate. That password is no longer...
That is not going to be a good password.
No longer secure.
Yeah, I think one of the things we're looking at longer term is a spectator mode, because I think it'd be good for the announcers to be able to pull up the matches separately, and that way we don't have the challenge of having players relog and stuff. So it'd be a good thing for us as we start to expand the esports stuff.
Which will be fun. And I don't know if you've played Clash Royale. I've seen some people in our community talk about it, but I like it. You can throw little emotes or cheers for whatever side you want to win. So you can throw like red confetti or blue confetti and cheer on your side with some stuff. It's pretty fun. It's when you get in those big guild matches when there's like 30, 40 people watching and you just see all the confetti popping off. It'll be pretty exciting. So it looks like Max has got back in. I'm not going to dox any information, so I will swap us back to the battle screen and go full screen. And it might look a little goofy right now, but we've set this up in battle so you can't see the player's spells. It shouldn't make too big of a difference on the stream since we're running a delay, but just to be safe, we don't want the integrity of the battle to be ruined at all. We're going to cover the spells, and you might be able to see a glimpse of their charges, but you also know your opponent's charges anyway, so it's not information that needs to be hidden.
All right, let's see if we can get this started. I think he's going to be sending the invite, I assume. Who is the one doing the invite in Junior?
I believe Junior is going to send it to Max right there.
Cool.
And then if you guys are just ghosting in the chat, let me know what time it is for you right now. It just hit 5 a.m. for me to start the stream. And I know we have players all over the world, and I think I tend to be about the furthest behind. I feel almost like a full day behind compared to the rest of the people when they're starting their quests and stuff.
All right, looks like
we got the connect. So we have... looks very similar teams. We got the grass fire on both sides, and then we have electro and air is the difference we have.
Yeah, which is pretty much expected. I think they're both sort of playing their main teams. I don't expect anyone to really, in a best of one, I don't expect them to really veer off of course. I think, based on what I know, I think Junior is probably going to start this one, because I think I saw he had one that had like 100 speed or something there. Yep, so Junior starts off, Zapdos coming out.
Crit evade, pretty lucky on both sides there.
Yep. It's always a fun time when you get lucky and then you get unlucky. But I think we'll have to keep an eye on sort of the general damage. And it looks like, in this case, it looks like Zapdos has got some pretty high attack.
And it looks like...
Probably got Hydra coming out, right? So we got Hydra coming out.
Hydra out. It looks like just base HP wise, Junior has a slight advantage with his average looking to be about 700-ish, give or take.
Yeah, just around there, and I think Max is a little bit lower, probably like 670-ish.
Right. There's a Hydra swap. What? No better way to spend your 4 charges when you don't have anything else to do. Unlucky crit there, but the new cleanse spell might put an end to that sort of thing.
Yeah, and I think this is an interesting match because we've got the Hydra on the fire of Junior, which can potentially be an issue in the long term most players, I've learned if you lose your fire and that's sort of a core of your attack, you
Unlucky
definitely
evade
get
there.
yourself into trouble.
Getting use out of the emote system at least when you get those unlucky evades. You could throw those. Oh,
Yeah.
wow, a strong elemental hit there.
A little bit of air burst, so it looks like we're seeing a lot of tick down and damage. We've got 2 Hydras running. That's
Another Hydra,
always
yeah.
the biggest challenge. I think sort of see how that plays out.
Zapdos takes that pretty well, though. 44, I think, is a little bit below average of what I see. I think 50 is about what you can expect from that Hydra, so when you're taking less than that. A nice crit there.
Yeah.
But
I think he's mostly going for Zapdos here. I think getting a Hydra on the fire is probably also going to be an important part of this all. It looks like, in terms of health, it looks like Junior's a little bit ahead. But we've also got the 2 grasses on either side. The grass on Junior's side hasn't really come out yet. Smart play there with taking out the air that already had the debuff on it for Hydra. We're going to go to 6 charges. Probably a good move considering he can't. I don't even actually. Yeah, it looks like Junior does have a Ghost secondary, so could have that panic attack. But it'll be interesting to see here if he goes with the panic attack or if he goes with the Hydra. Looks like he's just going to go straight for the Hydra.
Yeah,
so
Hydra seems strong. Take out
50 damage here, so 44. So we're at like 120-ish. So Zapdos is going to be in a little bit of trouble here, I think. You got 2 Hydras ticking on the other side.
58. That's a... Yeah, Zapdos definitely has that good elemental defense there because his team's ticking for 58 and 54. I believe in Zapdos is only taking 44. So, but he's ticking quick. He's down to 135. Brought him on the field. This might be a dead Zapdos, but it does prevent another Hydra spread because you're not going to spend 4 charges on a Hydra target that already has 2 ticks on him.
He's probably also going to leave him out here on the next turn because then he can prevent it again. Oh, he's at 40. He's going to take 44. It's going to go down, actually.
Yep,
which
so
gives Max
a free
chance
heal, potentially. Ooh, swaps for the panic. All right, keep the tempo in his favor. Yeah,
I like it.
I think that was very smart there. I was thinking a free heal, but setting your opponent to 0 charges is also a great way to spend that free turn when you know Hydra's going to tick for death there.
Yeah, you're going to drop the Hydra here, too. We got overall health-wise, I think Max is still a little bit behind. Like I said, he was a little behind on armor, so I think that that's going to be a little bit of the difference here. We'll see how tanky Venusaur is. It's also got a heal here, so it'll be interesting to see what Junior opts for, whether he goes for the panic attack to sort of just let stuff flow. Now he's going to go with the Hydra.
Hydra, staying aggressive. Get his full team on a timer. Is this going to knock him out there? 55 there? I think that's just shy of a knockout, though. My quick math.
Yep, 165. He'll have like 10 HP left or something.
Which is
like
enough
that.
to get off a heal. So if it goes to like a late game match of attrition.
Yeah, he's gonna have to go the Electro here and then probably save the high up. He's gonna save the Hydra. Although Venusaur is pretty tanky.
Venusaur does look to be a problem. It looks like Junior tried to keep him alive for this late game too. I think this is what Junior was planning for, is make sure that Venusaur is alive into the end game. Got full red health bars and 2 relatively tanky pets for Junior still.
Yeah, I think the challenge here is Venusaur is really only susceptible to elemental damage, and there's just not that much there going on.
Crit there, don't think that mattered. I think between the damage and the tick from Hydra, he was dead, and it looks like both players know that Junior may have this one wrapped in the bag. Despite having a charge advantage, I just don't think he can chunk through that much health on Venusaur and his fire type over there.
His one Hydra is still 4 turns, and it's only going to be like 160 damage, so he's going to be... Well,
get some damage down, lower the health total, but I still think that's just too big a gap here to catch up from. Really tanky pets from Junior. I think that's what he's known for. Is all of his pets are super tanky.
Good match though. I think that the challenge with Junior is like you really have to have good counter elements.
I think you do need those counter elements. I mean, chunking through. So I am going to switch our screens, so I stop, and I won't dox match. So we'll preview our next match, which I believe is going to be Kelvin and Moto. is
Yep.
going to be
That was
our.
a pretty good match, I think, in general. Like you said, it was comes down to the sort of a little bit of armor disparity and just the fact that Max wasn't really able to take advantage of the elements on Venusaur because he was already pretty low. I think that's one of the reasons why the change was made on Bulldog. To be honest, I think there's a lot of air playing in these top teams, and I think Junior was concerned with the extra elemental damage that he was taking. So I think it ended up coming down to the swap that he made at the end of the day, which is pretty cool.
I also think. Let me go to this. Is this yeah, this one. I think Junior was able to get all those Hydra procs onto his Zapdos, which only take him 44 there. I think that's kind of what he was going for, is make sure that the Cryptomon that's going to tank it the best gets hit with the Hydra, because Hydra's pretty telegraphed. You see 4 charges, you see a fire type, a Hydra's coming out. If it's not coming out, you threaten that Ghost Steal on the next turn, because if they don't hit you with a Hydra, they either hit you with a -2, or they generate some more charges, or they give you a free turn with a shield. So I think that is one of the downfalls of Hydra, is it's pretty telegraphed. You either cast it at 4 charges, or you leave yourself open to a panic attack, or you put it on a Cryptomon like Zapdos, which is going to tank it pretty well, but at least you don't open yourself up to a panic attack. Although Max did had a great panic attack there on that free turn, where he saw that his Hydra was doing 44, Cryptomon had 43 health left. He has 1 free turn. He opted for stealing the charges to make sure all the tempo was in favor. It was 6 charges to 0, I believe. Looking back, maybe a heal there might have made a difference, but I'm not sure. That Venusaur's health is just super hard to chunk through. Especially, Junior did great leaving it on his bench, saving it for late game. You see a 700 health grass type come out. I don't think I have anything to deal with that. I struggle with grass all the time. You're going to need those Hydra procs and hopefully some elemental damage, or at least elemental advantage, to kind of chunk through it in that end game there.
Yeah, and I think that's what Junior's counting on, is the lack of ice in the environment right now because of how strong Hydra is. So grass becomes something that you don't necessarily have to deal with a lot of elemental advantage on. So hopefully that we'll see that sort of change with some of the stuff coming out in some of the new spells and the new mechanics, but it seems like a smart play strategically. Do we want to go through the next? Have you swapped over?
We will pull up this. So we will look at Kelvin's team first. I'll make it full screen. I don't know if you have it.
Yep, I've got Kelvin's team. So he's running a very sort of non-standard comp with Ghost, Fire, Ground. So there's a little bit of elemental overlap with the Ghost.
I was about to say, is that is his ground type? That's either Ghost or Ice. But if there's overlap,
pretty sure it was Ghost when I looked at when I did sort of the little bit of scouting that I did. Mm-hmm. Let me double check that. I think it was, if I remember correctly, that was Ghost. 4. Yeah, it was definitely. Oh no, it's Ice. You're right.
It is Ice.
Looks
okay.
Looks
it
great.
Does. Ghost and Ice is hard to pull the difference from sometime. Something.
Yeah, it looks like he's got no elemental overlap, but he also doesn't have a lot of coverage on his main on his main elements. So it'll be interesting to kind of see. But I think he's got some solid mons here. A lot of good sort of physical defense. I think we saw this with Junior. There's a lot of tanky physical defense. There does seem to be a weakness to elements, which is sort of a recurring theme we're seeing. It's probably because there's a lot of physical attacks mixed in, so you got to generate charges. So I think the top players are looking at that from a meta and saying, hey, I'm going to just make sure I mitigate that attack damage since I know it's coming in the physical side. But I think, like I said, I don't think we'll see his benched, his alternate air. But I think the team looks pretty solid, and we've got an interesting comp up against Moto's team. I think Moto's team is the same team he played last time, if I remember correctly. Let's see. So we can, if you want to bring up. Actually, why am I not seeing the stream? Oh, there we go.
I will full screen. I'm helping a little bit on the back end. It looks like Our next match, the person that was going to share their screen was having some issue with the recordings, so they're going to reset that. But I set Moto's team to full screen. It'll be covering our faces, but players can see the Cryptomon and the IDs, so they can go scout them out later.
It's pretty cool. So we've got Moto. Moto's got sort of the same comp breakdown in general. Not a lot of coverage on main element in terms of protection, and definitely a bunch of some overlap too. I think you can kind of see. I think that fire is a fire air. You got the air already. So it's that we don't really have a lot of synergy between the two teams, so it looks like they're really just focused on core stats. I will say that Moto's Ghost with the high elemental on both Electro and Ghost definitely helps out. Gives them a lot more potential for elemental advantage, and it's super tanky versus elemental in terms of elemental defense. I expect that is where he'll want his Hydra to hit most likely, if I had to guess. And then Moto's Fire is really super tanky in terms of physical defense. Good high fire. It'll be pretty bursty. It's pretty solid overall. I forget what ranking it is, but it's one of the top ones, I believe.
I was going to say, looking at the IDs, it doesn't look like we're going to see any Aura Pets in this battle. So no one's going to opt in for those Aura Pets. These are all, ID-wise, these are all from most likely 2023, I believe, or very late 2022. So these are all pretty fresh pets, but knowing Moto, they're all going to be at least top 100. So they're going to be strong.
Top 20.
They're going to be strong. So I know he's got some heavy hitters in there.
And we also see this very interesting thing where a couple of players are playing super tanky core stats with very low elementals. It's very interesting. I think it's an interesting strat, but it also does leave you a little bit at a disadvantage if people can take advantage of the elements at the end of the day.
Yep.
So I think we'll sort of see how that plays out. I think the air at the end, Iolo is one of the ones that's super sort of tanky with lower core element stats, but it's got high crit and high evade, so it's definitely going to be able to take some damage.
I also think we just saw that with Venusaur. Sometimes you can't rely on physical attack alone. You're just going to get stonewalled. With physical attacks alone, that grass is going to hit, stomp, heal. This is something that we started saying in early testing days. Some of the bots, if you didn't have, when the bots were extra hard, if they just hit you with a stomp, heal, you were just soft locked out of the game. Now with items, you can kind of get around it a little bit. But that stomp, heal, tried and true. If your opponent can't outburst you with elemental spells or maybe some Hydra procs in there, you're just going to get stalled out. So you can't rely on just those physical stats. You need to throw in some utility spells, either from other Cryptomon or your own Cryptomon.
Yeah, I think also I didn't touch on Moto's alternate, but the name is Panic, so you could probably get a good idea for what the purpose of that is. I saw it and I was like, I don't think I need to look any further. I'm pretty sure it's just super tanky pet that has the sort of ghost off for stealing charges. It'll be interesting to kind of see how this all plays out.
It looks like we're just about to get started. Cool. I'm gonna throw this in there. It looks like he's moving around. I think there is a minimize option on that. He's gonna hear me in 30 seconds and it'll be too late. I gotta remember to type these messages out. Oh, it looks like he got it. All right, so I'm gonna swap us over to the battle screen. We'll go full screen here. It looks like we might have an arrow from the phone. Like I said, we're doing a pseudo spectator thing, and we're seeing Axel in here throwing up, kind of like I was saying earlier, those Clash Royale. He's throwing up those confetti cannons. So, all right, players, it looks like the stream is ready. So I forget who's sending the call, but we are good to go.
Looks like it went up.
So we're gonna get this match started.
Be interesting to see if we get the breakdown. I don't think, like I said,
all over 700. What a sight! But with Diamond Armor, I don't think that's too far out of the picture for most pets, but definitely nice to have those high health totals.
Yeah, that's I think an interesting aspect because the high health gives you a few extra turns here and there.
Whoa, pretty big armor difference here right off the bat. That's going to be That's going to be hard to climb back from.
Yeah,
Moto's
I'm actually
huge.
pretty impressed that Kelvin made it this deep. Like,
Yeah.
I don't see, are there any diamond armor pieces? I mean, that's impressive.
I don't see any, which is going to make this match. He's definitely going in as an underdog, but it'll be very exciting to see what strategy he pulls off to get the victory here.
Oh yeah, I'm impressed that he made it this far.
Yeah, and that health total too. It looks like he's down average 100 health off the bat, hitting with a strong crit, but it's only doing 48 into that diamond armor. So we'll see what he does to claw back as an underdog, or if Moto's just going to assert his dominance with his high pets here.
I think we're gonna have to restart. I was wondering why Kelvin didn't have some armor. He's missing some
an armor piece. All right, no worries. Let's just reset the battle now.
Yep.
And we'll hop
so
back in.
You guys can forfeit and then
forfeit. Make sure to feed your pets. Make sure we don't go in missing any health by default.
Obviously want to keep things as fair as possible. That happens sometimes when players are moving stuff around.
It's going to create more demand for that remove all armor button that players will use once a week or whatever.
Yep.
But yeah, it looks like we're going to reset this match.
Although he seems to keep playing, so I'm not really sure what's going on.
Oh, I'll double check the chat. They might just
play it out. All right, I guess they're going to just
out. We'll see. Well, we'll commentate it anyways. Let's see how much this Hydra does from Magma Storm. Taken for 47. Wow. I would thought that would do a bit more. 47 is a pretty good elemental resist on that ground type here. He's got the diamond legs on. So he's got some mixed match armor, but...
Yeah, 43, which is, I think... And that's not bad damage-wise.
No, I mean, we saw Zapdos was taking 44 on the last turn, so I don't know these elemental stats, but I know Moto's not cheap when it comes to his Cryptomon, so I know that fire stat has to be pretty good.
It's also interesting, we've got the first counter element. We've got Ghost versus Air right here, but he doesn't seem to be taking advantage of it.
All right.
This is a strat I love. I love playing like the super tanky approach. I mean, we're seeing a little bit different strat here. It's
a little bit of a stall. I think that's the first shield we might see. I don't know if we saw a shield at all last game. I think last game both players took a hyper offense, but
yeah, we didn't
see. Like we got a little bit. We have frozen armor making an appearance, which we didn't see last game, and we're seeing shields come out from Moto. So with two charges, I don't know how much you can punish this shield here. Throws them up to 8. I wonder if we're going to see a panic attack come out. Reset the charges, kind of waste a turn.
I would venture to guess.
Yep.
And this is where it'll be interesting when we move forward and add some consumables to the mix, because it changes the strat. You can't just sit here and sit on charges and lock your opponent out.
If he consumables 2 there and he steals 8 charges, that's a huge swing. That's like a game-winning swing there. Once again, if he used the consumable for +4, stole 11... Pretty massive swing, but it looks like this is what I've had the misfortune of playing Moto in some of my first tournament rounds where he knocks me out in game 1. But he is very big on keeping those elemental control. He likes having all the charges. He likes you sitting at 0. He has very physically bulky Cryptomons, so I think he's okay just taking physical attacks to the face as he builds up those charges.
He also has the extra health too, so you can't really complain about that. He did. I mean, Kelvin did get a Hydra off on the fire over
36.
There. It's a little low. I mean,
the lowest Hydra we've seen today, but between the armor difference and still 36 isn't too bad, not too shabby.
No, I mean, I think like you said, mid-40s is probably pretty common, so I think some of the armor difference is there. But we're, I think the health difference and the armor difference is probably going to end up being the undoing. But like I said, Kelvin just getting here with this armor level is pretty impressive.
Yeah, just to make it this far, make it to the semifinals. I'm not sure how much diamond armor is out there. I'm still climbing there. Slow grind. I've been doing more training because I keep breeding and I keep trying to find those next pets to use. So I felt
you
a little
noticed
bit behind.
that double high elemental that I mentioned in the preview on this Ghost Electro came out there because he's rocking the shock as his spell. And that just 172 is a big amount of damage in a match. Like,
that's scary. That almost looks boosted, like the static boosted.
Yeah, it's imagine that static boosted. You're looking at like 3 something. I've been playing
9 charges here. This might be. Yep, there's a panic.
Yep, he's pretty. I mean, this is what we've seen from Moto all along. He basically locks you down and just grinds you away. It's interesting though, the armor choice on Moto's side, like it's just straight Vanquisher across the board. He seems to be content with just sort of playing middle of the road. I personally like the strat of playing a little bit defensive in some places. I think my playstyle is a little bit different than some of these guys. Obviously, I don't get to play them all that much, but I like to focus.
142 there. Once again, that shock coming out just absolutely
That's
devastating.
And that's hard to, like I said, that the real trick I think that people sort of miss sometimes is the using elemental advantage. Like to get 1.5, like 150% free damage on your counters is a very big missed opportunity. I tend to play a little bit more like grindy, defensive, and then try and take advantage of the elements. But can't fault these guys; they've made it this far. So
looking at the 16 charges has me giggling a little bit. It's just such a Moto thing to do. Is just keep taking those physical hits and make sure your opponent never gets more than 4 charges. And he's just he has the health and he has the armor. I don't think this strategy is foolproof in the future.
No,
because I think
one
item
would why we also added the consumables because of this strat and also the potential for like the grass healing strat. Like there's a lot of challenges when you build game engines in terms of balance, and so the consumables sort of level the playing field and make you sort of think about where you're at and where your opponent's at in general. So it's definitely, there's still some opportunities to do the things that you're talking about with the locking someone down with the charges, but I think with consumables it adds a little bit more of a strategy to the game.
Because I think consumables, Street Fighter 6 just came out. I don't know if there's too much crossover with our community, but they introduced combo breakers, and I think that's what items are gonna kind of be like in our game. Moto kind of got on that roll. He got early charges. He got 1 steal, and it just snowballed. But throw in 1 item charge steal with his ghost type, and it's that combo breaker. It kind of disrupts what Moto's game plan is, which I think will be really good in keeping the gameplay fresh and a little more exciting. So, great match by Kelvin there. He was definitely the underdog in the fight. I mean, just looking at this end screen here, he was down health. I'll switch the screen so we don't dox any of our player information. He was down health in the fight. He was down armor, most likely down stats based on fighting in the past. But I think his strategy is solid there. I really like seeing frozen armor come out. We don't see that too much, just because ice is pretty much not off the table, but ice is having a very hard time with Hydra right now with no cleanse in the pool. But secondary ice is very strong.
Kelvin having it as a secondary is really what makes it playable at the end of the day today.
Yeah, you avoid that pretty glaring fire weakness, but you still get the full benefits of the spell. Very strong. So it looks like our finals match is going to be between Junior and Moto, correct?
Yeah, and I think this is sort of the finals that people expected. In general, probably the finals I expected. I think we've seen this match once before, I believe, which was at the KMON Cup tournament. And then I think did we see it last time? Did they meet in the quarters in the last one?
Well, I know these two aren't strangers when it comes to fighting in tournaments. I think they're both veterans in the space. They both, I think, know each other's play style a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see if they've learned and adapted from their past matches, and if they're if they're going to bring a different pet. And like we said, this is still going to be a best of one. So it's going to be a quick game. I'm guessing they're both just going to bring their main teams, whatever they're comfortable with, and just try and find those 1 or 2 crits or evades that swing the momentum in their favor, and just make sure they don't make any mistakes to lose that momentum.
Do we want to take a quick second to do the quick announcement?
Yep, so we will take a quick break as our players get ready for the final, swap their armor, make sure they're Cryptomon are fed. We'll start this match in 3 minutes. So I don't know where everyone's local time is, but that'll be at 5:50 for me. So in 3 or 4 minutes when we round out the hour. So we are going to start. I'll just take us over to the tab and let you kind of reveal this. So we are scene swapped.
All right. So I'm assuming the cosmetic stuff is up?
Yep, it's right behind your head. You'll see it in 30 seconds when we catch up on the delay.
So I think there's a little bit of a teaser with the mystery merchant earlier in the week, but we are officially going to be rolling out the use of cosmetics in a patch on Monday. So basically, we've had a couple of cosmetics that have been dropped so far. We've got the Habbo hoodie, which is part of the Habbo treasure hunt event, and we've got the NFT Hunter hoodie. But players will basically in the next patch be able to start wearing their equipping their cosmetics on their trainers and sort of customizing the look of themselves. So we've got those. Those will be available immediately, and then later this week we're going to be launching the first cosmetic sale. So we figured what better way than to sort of promote the global aspect of the game the way that we do with like the game nights was to start with the cosmetics for countries. So we took, I think, the top 12 or top 14 countries to start. So this won't probably be the final list. We'll probably end up expanding it as we go. But there will basically be country-based sets. That'll be 3 NFTs, a hoodie, some pants, and some sneakers, designed to a little bit like the Olympic suits. So that's where some of our inspiration came from for them. So basically a way to sort of show off your pride in your country and distinguish yourself from the other trainers. The cool part about it is even when you have PvP battles against your friends, your trainer will show your clothing, so it'll be fully customized throughout the whole process. In game, you'll see them in your little profile picture, and as we start to go, you'll be able to sort of see more and more of people's personalities come out in some of their cosmetics. So definitely stay tuned and watch that. I think that's Wednesday that we're going to end up dropping them. So definitely don't want to miss it. Can't promise we will drop the same cosmetic sets again. So if you are interested in them, definitely pick them up now. But we'll basically, we're using sort of the global game night to sort of unveil this new style of cosmetics.
Mm-hmm. Which is going to be pretty cool because I'm sure some of the players in here are here from the World of Kogia play preview. So I know if you guys played in that preview, everyone was pretty much dressed the same. You either saw that green hoodie, the trainer t-shirt, or we had Axel and a few others running around naked. They had their underwear on. We got to keep the rating. So it'll be nice to kind of have that guild or that team spirit, represent your country, run around, show your pride, and just stand out a little, because I believe this is going to be our first sort of set cosmetic where you get that full outfit. You're going to have a full outfit to go flex in the zone. And like Brian said, who knows when they're dropping again? Who knows if they're going to be the exact same again? So kind of, maybe pick up that first edition set here, stand out, show pride in your country, show pride in your region, and flex it when we do our next preview, because I know I'm not going to be running around naked.
That's, I think, the important part to understand is like the cosmetics for us are a different sort of approach. So a lot of games use cosmetics as a way to just sort of dump stuff out, but for us, it's a way for you to kind of own the look of your character. So as Tyler Toe said, basically your cosmetics also transfer from game to game. So hopefully in the next preview, we should have all of the cosmetic sets available for you based on what you purchased. But one of the nice things about buying stuff in a Web3 game is that your assets go with you. So you can rock the country sets in Genesis, and then when we launch World of Kogia, you can run around and sport them in your country and your country cosmetics there as well.
So yeah,
Cool.
super awesome. I love the looks. And then we do have one more quick announcement. It looks like the players are getting ready in the background. So we will just show this next. Hopefully this works. I set this up a few minutes before the stream. So as you guys know, we had a giveaway going on around the World of Kogia preview event, and we are actually announcing our winners here, and we'll also ping them in the chat because it's hard to make a live stream, especially when we do surprise announcement like this. But these are the winners from the event, and these people are going to win a fully maxed out team, so a ready to battle team. Very exciting, a pretty fun giveaway idea, kind of get players fully and started, because sometimes when you win an egg, it still means you have to go through that time training it, which is part of the core player experience. But this is definitely one of those big giveaway wins where you get that fully maxed out pet. So we have our winners announced here. Super awesome. If you won and you're on the list and you're in the chat, let us know. I recognize a few names here that are active in the community, which is super awesome because I love seeing a name I recognize, because I'm going to go ping, especially Marco. He's in our chat all the time, so super excited to see him win there. So these are our winners. We will ping you in the Telegram after the stream, and we are going to get back to the matches. So it actually looks like it's a little of a surprise match. We are going to have our third place contender match between Kelvin and Max to start it off before we hit our grand finale.
Awesome.
Which is going to be exciting. Exciting to see Kelvin get a little bit more of a matchup that might be a little closer to him. Moto is just a different breed when it comes to his Cryptomon and armor status.
Yep. So it looks like I think they're playing third without armor even, maybe? Is that true? I think, I guess we'll have to queue up and see.
No.
Are you
do you want to mention, do you see the questions in chat about the Pink Mood Shard questionnaire? Is that something you want to address today? I know we had talked about it. I don't know if that was finalized. I'll let you take
So we are still finalizing the survey, but it will come out this week. I'm just working on confirming it, but we will be sharing the links on our socials, and then also basically you'll be receiving an email with a link and some instructions. So that should be coming out this week. Definitely give us your feedback. Obviously, we like to hear what the community has to say and improve on our games that way. All right, I think they're
waiting for your okay, but I think you just said that. So I think we're good.
So I think I'll let them know we're good to go, since they probably won't hear that for 30 seconds. But I guess they're queuing up now, and then we'll get the last match in right after this.
Great showcase from the players. You can definitely see the Hydra dominance is still pretty relevant. I think Hydra has been the most used spell so far in the tournament that I've seen. But like we said, more spells are coming out. Wave 2 is around the corner, which has some direct counters and some indirect counters and some more strategic gameplay when you can mess around with your elements some more. So it does look like they're going no armor. So they're just going to be doing raw stats. That's going to be pretty exciting. So this will determine our third place winner for the night. I'll let the matchup go through, and then we'll switch it over to the battle screen. But here, I can actually show you now. You can see the trainers right here on the screen. Right now, they're in the default outfit that everyone wears, but you'll be able to customize this, and it'll not only appear in Genesis, but in our 3D game as well.
All right, looks like this is sort of the same. These are the same teams they were playing before.
I believe it's the same teams. So we'll see if the different matchup can give one of them a chance to shine.
Got this new armor, no armor format. So we'll see how that goes.
The health totals look very close. It looks like Kelvin actually gets a small advantage.
Yeah, he's got a small advantage. Probably about 70.
Probably pretty gosh, I can't say that word. It's too early in the morning for me. Pretty non-important sense. If we take into account resistances, it probably won't make a huge difference.
We also have a bunch of elemental advantages.
This is going to be an interesting match. So he starts off with the frozen armor, a Hydra into the frozen armor.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so far I've been pretty positive all the plays. I don't know if I love that. because you know your Hydra's just going to do reduced damage there. But I mean, that's kind of the issue with Hydra is you either cast it or you leave yourself vulnerable for a panic attack. So
yeah, he could have maybe gone the Moto route and just locked down.
Could have just spam shield, get some charges back.
Get some charges.
It looks like he's getting some decent damage though, even through these ticks. He's got about 100 health off. And it doesn't look like he has any ways to heal this Cryptomon, so all that damage is permanent.
Super interesting to see.
Did he just not do elemental advantage?
No, well, it doesn't look like he brought it. It looks like he brought the ice.
Oh, frozen armor and ice. Yeah, okay. You're right.
I didn't really check to see. I think the ice secondaries were low on that, though. I would have brought the ground myself to try and take out the Electro. Now we've got a Hydra on Hydra. I suspect we'll get a Hydra back. And we'll see the two fires just duking it out Hydra style and see who's taking more damage.
Trade the Hydras. So it looks like Smog is going to tick for 47, and I missed the tick on Kelvin's, but we'll see that this turn. A nice evade there. Always nice to... Oh, and there comes the emote. Hate to see the evade. Ooh, and he gets a crit on the next turn. Evade into a crit. The favors are slightly pointing towards Kelvin right now, just with the RNG aspect. Good elemental advantage hit there. 141.
Yeah, it looks like we definitely have a much more even match. It's pretty interesting to see. We'll see if we see that frozen armor come out again to slow down the pace of the match. We're at like 707. I think right now Max has a little bit of an advantage health-wise, but not a crazy amount.
Ooh, another frozen armor. I like it. I like the frozen armor in anticipation for the Hydra, because I don't believe. He just does it again. He's going with the brute force.
I mean, after the first time through, it seemed to have worked out for him. So I probably would have continued. He's got a little bit of an advantage here. I'm still surprised we haven't. I guess without the ground spell, you're not seeing. I probably would have maybe played frozen armor in the ground spell, and that way I could frozen armor then physical then ground.
But he also brought the ice for this grass type here. The grass type may be more threatening to him.
It just feels
71 through the frozen armor. That must be a strong grass type.
Yeah, it's got high grass, and obviously that elemental advantage helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like Max has done a good job just kind of brute forcing his way through this ground type Cryptomon. Took a ton of damage though. I think it did its job very well. He gets a nice opening crit there.
For sure. I think the interesting thing will be when we get down to the nitty gritty and the Electro versus the Ghost.
All right, are they going to swap Hydras here? I think they might.
Yeah, they probably will. I think that's an advantage for Max though, because he still will have his Hydra. Yeah, I think that's gonna kill it, right? No, it'll be just shy.
So let's see. If he brings out his Electro type for advantage here, it will most likely die between the ticks and taking a hit on the field.
Health-wise, we're close though. It's not. I mean, it
is close. I think we're gonna see all three in red here, in the next turn or so.
Yeah, it seems like Max is able to hold it up, keep it. Yeah, we've got. I mean, that Ghost hits pretty hard, and all things considered.
Ooh, this one's gonna come down to the wire. Let's see. He kept that grass type alive though, so I wonder if a late game heal is going to be the decider this game.
Maybe.
He's got elemental advantage here.
Yeah, this is a tough spot. He kind of has to steal the charges, but he's just going to end up losing the physical attack battle.
Ooh, he does a Hydra. I think this confirms the kill.
Yeah, it will. Although it also kills Roxy, so he's saving his Ghost. It's not a bad play, if you think about it. He's going to need to bring...
Let's see, 6 charges left, though. Max looks like he set himself up for a good endgame here. He's got 6 charges. He can do a heal here. Roxy's going to go down, it looks like, but she's going to go down fighting and most likely cast another spell here. If that's what I'm guessing. Yep, cast the elemental there. Get a good hit, 83, just good solid damage. As she's going to go down to this tick damage.
But it did seem Yeah, I don't know. I might have maybe shielded there.
I think I would too. I think if you know that the confirmed kill is going to proc with Hydra, you just... But I guess shield wouldn't make a difference into the Hydra, so...
True.
Yeah. It's pretty non-consequential there.
I mean,
so
the health...
It looks like a slight health advantage for Max, but an elemental advantage charge-wise for Kelvin. So this one's definitely going to come down to the wire. That Hydra ticking is going to hurt, though. I think he's going to take another 100 damage. Oh, so shy of the kill there.
The kill might have won the game.
I think that kill there might have been the game changer.
We'll
see if he can knock out Smog.
Physical.
Oh, it would have been close.
It would have been really close.
It would have been very close. What a huge hit, though.
Yeah, I think it still would have been enough. Max would have won by one turn.
And with health totals like this, it looks like that match could be 50-50 just based off crits and evades. One more crit there, one more evade there is the decider for that match. Both players played very well. I like that preemptive frozen armor into the expected Hydra, as we saw that play out twice.
Yeah.
But man, once again, another game night where we have a Cryptomon live in single digit.
I think you got to. I think we'll get into our final match real quick, but I think you need to.
We're gonna hop into a different Google Meets here real quick for our final matchup, as the players were prepping in that one. But I should be able to do all this on the back end. But yeah, great game there. I think no armor made it a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
Very exciting though.
I think longer term, obviously, armor will even itself out, and players will get there, and it'll become more of a non-issue. But
especially when it's ladder play, and you're most likely going to find yourself either where your skill makes up for the armor, or you're a little bit capped by your armor, and you need to grind story mode every day still.
I'm also excited for Battle League because it's sort of based on your historical performance, so it'll give players a lot more of an opportunity to play competitively against people at their level. All right, I think you let us know, Tyler, when you're ready to go.
All right, I am ready. I am in here. It looks like they're setting up the stream. I'm going to wait until it's on the gameplay. That way I don't dox any information. Because I would hate to send out a username or anything and have an account compromised. Thankfully, they won't even get to your NFTs. I know some players in the past have had it happen. They might troll you and open up all your loot boxes. Unfortunate, but nothing's at too big a risk. Nothing's at too big a risk there, but don't go giving out your passwords. It's a bad idea.
Probably a good thing.
Yeah.
All right. I think you're ready to go, right, Tyler?
Yep, I'm ready to go. I just see he is not on the gameplay screen, so I will swap it once he goes to gameplay. That way, I don't dox any information. And it looks like that is now, so we have our final battle here. I'll hop over to the battle screen.
I think this is going to be very exciting. We've got a very equal matchup armor-wise, equal matchup strength-wise.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very competitive. I'm excited to see if anyone brings any different Cryptomon, or if they just stay tried and true and bring what they've been practicing with, and just play with what they're comfortable and look for ways to outmatch them, outwit them, instead of outstat them.
Yeah, I think this is where you start to see the strategy come into play a lot more, and every single decision matters. I know that the few times that I've played Junior, I think I beat him once in 10 matches, and the only reason I won is because he made a bad decision. He just played it impeccably. Doesn't make a lot of mistakes and gets to where he wants to be, which is definitely why we keep seeing him in the finals. And I think he's super interested to win this back, win his title back. He was, I think he was a little bummed the first time when he lost to Tamir. So he's happy to be back. It looks like we've got the matchups. I think
looks like the same. Yep, it looks like these are the main three that they registered with. So we should have a super exciting match here, super competitive. Elemental wise, I don't see any advantage right off the bat. Do you? I Am I missing
Just
anything?
just the ghost against the air.
Oh, ghosts into air. I should know that because I'm really sad I didn't see a single water Cryptomon make it into the finals here, but it'll find its time. Ooh, a nice evade there right off the bat, only hitting for 26.
I think this air is actually air water, just so you know.
Let's go.
Ooh, another
back-to-back evades. Oh, that's an unfortunate start. That's when you disconnect by accident in an online game. Whoops. I've disconnected.
We're going to see that Hydra here. That's definitely a strategic play. That Ghost is by far the tankiest from an elemental perspective on Moto's side. Like I said, it really comes down to, I think, where you can place the Hydras right now.
It looks like a little bit of a Hydra mirror match. It looks like.
Yeah, I actually prefer to go second for that exact reason, because I can control where the Hydra goes. So I know that a couple of times in the past I've veered away from that strategy, and it's definitely cost me. But it looks like we've got Zapdos taking a bunch of damage, whereas it looks like on Moto's side the damage is kind of spread. We've got two Hydras ticking. I think they're both ticking for pretty close to the same amount, right? 47. Here's that elemental advantage.
That's the elemental. Looks like you got the evade. The cancels out. I guess depends on their instinct crazy, but
yep. And it looks
on
like,
average, I think it'll cancel out, especially when we're in the top tier like this. I think both their stats are going to be average or higher. Zapdos is definitely getting ticked down a lot quicker than it was in the first game here.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely seeing a little bit of a dicey situation for Junior. Health-wise, we're at about 1,500 to 14 or so, maybe 15. We're pretty even at this point across the board. We've got Hydra ticking. We've got another Hydra sitting. It'd be interesting here to see what he does.
4 and 4 charges. Yeah, it's going to be... Who makes the first call? Do you just reapply Hydra to Zapdos? Even though I believe Zapdos is the preferred target. I think he's tanky.
Yeah, he's by far the tanky to elemental.
He's keeping that grass type on the bench, still 700 health. He did this in his first game, and it worked out very well for him. Keeping that grass on the bench, keep it healthy, and get that stomp heal. And Moto going with his charge control, something we've seen from him in the past. Trade those hits, he gets another evade. I think that's 3 evades. I didn't do the math on this one, but the first 2 were full-on evades. So super lucky there.
This is the part that was really... the grass comes out early.
He gets a nice crit at least. He gets at least a little rewarded after that evade.
Health overall is still pretty similar.
Pretty close. 4 and 4 again. Do we see another Hydra trade? It looks like we do.
Yeah,
so Charizard, I believe Charizard's just getting ticked down with Hydra. In these trades back and forth, because he'll Hydra first and then he gets counter Hydra here. And the fire type on the Magma Storm is more health just because it's avoiding those Hydra procs, since it comes out second and gets to, like you said earlier, it's almost nice to be that second Hydra proc, since you get to determine, because your opponent will be at 0 charges. Ooh, a nice evade there for Junior. I like it. I like the emotes coming out full force this game. And another evade right back at him. Oh, some brutal evade odds this game.
We definitely got a little bit of low health here. I mean,
Zapdos went down a lot quicker this game, but he still has that grass on the bench, only missing about 50 health.
He's in a tough situation right here. He reapplied. Did he reapply?
No, that was just the -2, I believe. Did about 88 damage.
Hard to tell.
Why don't I know that move off the top of my head? I should know that.
Fireball? No, what is
Fireball,
that?
Flame Strike. I'm thinking of Hearthstone cards because I've been playing Hearthstone recently. Anyone in the chat know the -2 for fire? Meteor? Is it?
Yeah, it must be Meteor.
It's got to be Meteor. Flame Wave is Hearthstone. Another game.
Yeah, but I mean, this grass is super tanky. I mean, we're sitting at.
Ooh, the grass gets locked in here with this dying breath. He has the debuff. He has 4 charges, so he's not gonna be faced with the debuff if he doesn't want to, but he just fights through it anyway. Ooh. I wonder if the -2 might have been worth there to secure the kill. It will be interesting.
Be interesting to see what we see here. Whether he's not. Yeah.
Panic attack control. Venusaur,
So
I think, is definitely on the physical bulk side, so I think he's okay taking these physical attacks.
Yeah, he's tanky, and he's also got really high physical attack, so it's good to be sitting there locked out if you're going to be locked out anywhere.
He's got that aura heal, too. It looks like Junior took a playbook or a page out of Moto's playbook, and he's just doing that elemental control here, not letting your opponent get any charges.
I don't hate
big
it
crit
sure.
there. But
I feel we're going to see the Hydra here and then back to the grass if I had to guess.
I believe so too.
It's not a bad strat. I mean, Junior's at a slight disadvantage here. It's like 800 to 900-ish health.
Yeah, but he has that heal late game on that grass, which is very scary because that's an aura boosted heal. Or does the aura boost heal? Or am I...
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay. Is that undecided or is it... Oh, wow. The evade. Living at 4 health, keeping that air type alive to come out on the field at a later turn.
That could end up
being there
in the entire match.
Yep, if that air comes out, or if he's the last one alive at 4 and he gets to hit. Once again, we have Cryptomon living single-digit health. Every health point matters. Getting good use out of these emotes.
They love their emotes. It's like every turn. And he's gonna need to deal with this fire at some point.
4 here, yeah, and he doesn't have a great... Yeah, now is when you wish you had a water type on your team, huh? I know with my fish sticks, 5738, I can hit fire types for over 100 damage for only -2. It feels great. Hit fire hard. That Venusaur is a tanky monster, though.
Yeah, it definitely is super tanky. It's got crazy stats.
So I think, I wonder if we'll see some heals come out from Junior here. Or if he's going to steal to make sure that... Oh, okay.
Yeah, he needs to bring that health down.
Yeah, I like it because it most likely avoids a counter Hydra because I don't think you'll get full... you don't want to... Yeah, I don't like putting this on a 4-turn timer. I think you can kill it quicker without it. But the timer is set. The timer is set, so that fire is going to die no matter what.
Yeah, I probably would have kept him out there and just let it sit.
Yeah, I think he might have died in 1 hit, though. So I think taking him to the bench, let him get the proc this turn, and then swapping him back on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess you're right.
To force him. So now if he brings the fire type out, he's forced to attack it, or it lives 1 more proc. But he doesn't bring it out. He's just going to let it die on the bench. I think if you bring the fire type out there, it forces your opponent to deal with it, or you get 1 free turn.
He can take 1 more tick on it, though, right? What's it dealing?
Yeah, so he can take 1 more tick, but then your opponent can just shield. Ooh, and a massive crit there. Ooh. We'll see. But yeah, he can take 1 more tick. So if he swaps in the fire, I believe this is the right play. So now he's forced to attack or shield into it.
Yep.
Let's see. What does he decide to do here? I think a shield might lead into a heal.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. He sacrifices...
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, this is going to come down to the wire. Does Venusaur heal here? Or does he just take the knockout that's in front of him?
I think maybe you swap to the air and try and...
So he takes the knockout. Ooh, he might just go for the -6 here. The ultimate. Are we going to see the ultimate be the game decider here? I think it's an ultimate here. I think
he's going to get...
Ultimate and then an elemental spell. Let's see it. Ooh, I don't know if that kills. Oh, he lived. That's it. I think that's the game there.
Again, grass. Yeah, it's over.
Yep, I think. A crit there definitely secures it. What a close game. Down to 4 health on the remaining.
I did not think he was going to pull that out. I thought he was...
Oh, what a clutch game. Wow. Single-digit health. This game came down to crits and evades. You can play around them all you want, but sometimes Lady Luck is on your side. And it looks like Junior pulls out. Oh, and the screenshot comes in. Yeah, I saw the flash of the screen. We'll take him off the stream, as I'm sure he's gonna go brag about his victory in our different chats. But what a great game to end it on. Both of those round 2 matches were hyper competitive. Down to 1 Cryptomon, 1-2 Cryptomon, and low health.
Yeah,
Man,
I mean,
what?
it definitely delivered the excitement of a final. On the edge of the seat, I really thought Junior was in trouble there for a brief moment.
I did too. I thought when that air Cryptomon lived on 4, my heart sank a little. I'm like, it is brutal right now when that when you go for a kill. I was it an evade as well? I believe it was an evade.
I think one of them was an evade.
I think it was an evade that led to him living on 4 health. And man, both players played amazingly. Obviously, they played better than I could. I was saying things, and then they did something smarter than what I said. So shout out to all the players that made it to this far. You all played phenomenal in all of your games, and then you played even better here on stream. Very competitive games, very fun to watch.
Great games. Definitely gonna go back and watch some of those to kind of see where some of the things turn the corner. And that last game I'm gonna be watching for a while to see what the heck happened there. I really thought that was over, and then you see the 6 and then the small amount of damage, live by 4 health. Mm-hmm. That's when you see that little bit of health always makes a difference.
I also thought when that ultimate spell only hit for 104 and he had one, I was like, ooh, I was hoping that would do like 180. Like I was hoping I would do a lot more. But then he lived on 4 health himself, or single digit health himself, and it led to another physical attack into an ultimate to definitely secure the win. So very competitive game, very fun to watch.
Sweet.
I don't believe we have anything else planned. Once again, thank you to all the competitors. It was super fun to watch, super fun to comment.
Yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a super exciting match. Super exciting set of matches. I think we may even have another game night set of finals later this week, maybe. So obviously keep an eye out. These streams are always fun, and it's great to sort of see some of the top players working through some new strategies and just seeing how they play.
So yeah, he abandoned Golduck, but he got the victory. So at what cost? At what cost was this victory, Junior? You abandoned Golduck, but you won the crown.
Well, congratulations to Junior for taking it home. I know he really wanted the last one too, but he seems to have grinded his way back up to the top.
All right. Well, I think that's it for us here at the stream. Thank you guys for